Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Matt Gerchow, CEO and founder at Agency Hub. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here, Seth. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. Let's go back in time a little bit. How'd you get started?
Oh man, that's a long story, but I've been doing this since '97, and I started out with an online mortgage company. As soon as I saw what the internet was, I put a site up and started collecting money, and people would send crazy mortgage applications for $1 million homes, back in '97, and then from there, I got pulled to New York through that and did a .com project. From that, ended up in Miami, did a project with Raquel Welch and her husband, and then went on from there to do real estate investing, and all the while though kind of maintaining small internet projects and various either like for real estate investing, we'd code something up and put it out for all of our investors to use, and just kind of been in the business seems like all my life now.
Wow. And that isn't, I'm sure there's a longer version of that journey that could be in a book somewhere if it isn't already. Tell us a little bit about Agency Hub.
Yeah, so Agency Hub was a pivot from a company that we started in 2016 called SteadyContent, which has been really successful, but just seeing kind of the writing on the wall with the AI content, and it's actually, it's cut into our business maybe 20-30% on the SteadyContent side, but seeing what's coming and just using it. I mean, you use the Chat GPT and all this, and I see it as much more than just kind of a content replacement. It's kind of a knowledge replacement. And so seeing what's coming there, we just wanted to expand and have a lot more products than content. It was like, okay, do we pivot and do one more product, or do we create a marketplace and really kind of bring in all the items that an agency might need?
Awesome. So what are the items in Agency Hub?
So anything from PPC to social ads to social media marketing to website audits, full websites, web development, anything that a digital marketing agency would need. We probably got 90 different products in there now, mostly focused around like items that will be monthly recurring revenue items.
Okay, so when you've got it in Agency Hub, does that mean I, as an agency owner, am white labeling you?
Yeah, so we actually developed a technology called three-way chat where, like e-com and whatnot, they try to flatten the supply line from manufacturers. We try to flatten the communication line from our providers all the way to the end client. So what we saw is there's a lot of 1, 2 to 5 person agencies that they don't necessarily have all the knowledge, right? Everybody wants to pretend they have all the knowledge, but what if you could just lean on the credibility of, for example, one of our suppliers has been going since 1995, right? So imagine the systems and the knowledge that they have in place, and they're willing to talk directly to the end client using our three-way chat. So what's awesome about that is, if you're an agency and you invite a client, the client looking up only sees the agency name on everybody's contact. Okay, but the provider looking down, they can see, who's the agency, who's agency hub, who's the client, et cetera, so they know how to address them appropriately.
So that is fascinating. So if I'm understanding that right, that'd be a great way to white label.
Right. Oh,
right?
yeah,
so
absolutely.
for example, it could look like I work for 27 different companies and I don't need 27 different email addresses to pull it off.
Right. Absolutely. That's exactly
Well,
it.
shoot, sign me up for that. You got another
Yeah,
client.
it's like you brought the proverbial knife to the gun show, right? So, or the gun, what is it? The gun to the knife fight. Yeah. So like essentially what's happening is, you're doing social media posting for a company, right? But you're like, okay, they brought a team of 3 to do social media posting for me. This seems weird. But the agency and agency hub are kind of playing fly on the wall in there, and the provider is actually doing the work. And then agency hub and the agency just kind of push the conversation forward when needed. It's like, oh yeah, you need to know this about the client, or you need, et cetera. Or they're asking about a billing issue. Well, that's us, et cetera.
That is awesome. And I love that it solves multiple problems at the same time. So who is a ideal agency client for you?
So an ideal agency is somebody that is either just getting started, or we have clients that have 0 clients, and then we have clients that have 400 campaigns with us. So it's really, it's a variation, and we have scaled, during the pandemic, we scaled with one company to where we were producing, I want to say it was 3,300 pieces of content for them a month. And it was all long form. And so like it forced us to scale, but it was the pandemic. So what else did we have to do? Right. And so we can handle agencies of any size, from the just getting started to the company that has maybe, like our biggest client has over 500 employees. Right. And so, but they don't want to do the content. It's really tricky to do that. And we've spent $500,000 developing a software system and hiring the right personnel so that all flows smoothly every single month, and we can produce thousands of pieces of content for them.
That is absolutely incredible. How do you hire fast enough to scale that growth?
So that's a kind of a marketing plan in and of itself. We're constantly running ads for that. We have a few sites that generate freelancers for us. We've created like a onboarding system where they have to pass, like on the content side, they have to pass an English skills test, and it's all automated. So we don't even look at them until they've submitted their first piece of content. It's a 250-word article. Once that's done, then our admins will look at it. But there's like 4 tests they have to go through, of formatting and English skills, et cetera, before they ever get to that. So you automate a lot of that is how you hire it. And so we have 700 writers on, available to us in a freelancer type relationship.
That's one heck of a potential team. How do you deal with the stress?
Well, it depends on where the stress is coming from, right? So we've been doing the content so long, there's 0 stress on that end. Now, as we grow the agency hub, it's constantly like, well, does your communication chat feature have this? And can it do that? And, oh, we'd love to help you guys, but it needs to do this. And so just that's where a little bit of stress comes from, is trying to get that done as quickly as possible on extra features.
What are some of your coping strategies for when that's driving you crazy?
Oh, I drink. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So workouts, hardcore workouts in the morning. Yeah, I think that, I do yoga, lots of water, lots of walks. It's interesting that you asked that, because I think as entrepreneurs, that's really like a 30% part of our life, is like, how do we deal with the stress? I was responding to a friend the other day, giving him kind of the secret to how I cured panic attacks for myself. And there's a guy named Charles Linden. He's now on YouTube. I used to have to get it back when I did it in 2004. it was cassette tapes or something like that, or CDs. It was horrible. Right now you can go right on YouTube and do his like relaxation method, and it cured my panic attacks. It cured my dad's panic attacks. So that's one aspect of it, is the relaxation of it and whatnot. And then it's just kind of manning up a little bit too, right? It's just realizing, hey, what we're doing is hard. When you realize it's hard, then sometimes that helps you get past that.
That makes a lot of sense. You talked a little bit about the team. How many end user clients are you serving?
I'd have to check to get the exact number, but it's probably north of 200 agencies, 150, 200 agencies. It fluctuates from month to month.
Oh, I'm sure. How are you bringing more agencies in the door?
So we run Facebook ads. We've got a team of affiliates. We do a lot of content, podcasts like this, et cetera, et cetera.
You've achieved so much success, not only for yourself and your business, but for the clients, which is even more important. What's your biggest challenge now?
Just scale. It's just bringing more agencies in. It's like, because it's a marketplace, you've kind of got the chicken and the egg. So you've got to have suppliers and vendors. And then our model is a little different than the majority of the marketplaces out there, where most marketplaces kind of advertise the provider's name. We hide that, and when everybody is Agency Hub. So it's a little bit different. It's great for like disintermediation, but it is a nightmare when it comes to quality control, because you're actually taking on the responsibility for everything.
Yeah, I can imagine how that would be a challenge. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
So I like the ability that allows me to live anywhere in the world. I'm currently talking to you from Bogota, Colombia. We'll be headed back to Seattle for a couple months, spend some time with the folks, and then we're going to move to Spain for probably 2 or 3 years. But I was one of the early adopters of kind of the vagabond 4-hour work week lifestyle. I've been doing it since 2008.
That is awesome. Who do you listen to? Who do you read? Where do you go for inspiration and ideas?
Sure. I'm reading Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell at the moment. Just finished Schwarzenegger's new book a couple days ago. Who I follow online, Liberal Hive Mind is somebody I listen to. Candace Owens, listen to her. Trying to think if there's anybody in the space that I really listen to their stuff online. Not so much. I'm more of a reader than a watcher when it comes to our stuff, just because I can throw it on and be out in the street, be in a workout, et cetera, et cetera. And then I have a score mentor. I think that's important to mention. Like, I have an attorney out of New Jersey that he coaches me once a week religiously, and he's kind of winding down his law practice, but I don't think people realize how much of a resource that is. There's a guy that's $440 an hour, and he's willing to coach me for free every Monday, 9 a.m. and we kind of lay out the week. And then I have other mentors as well.
That's incredible. For our agency owners who are watching or listening, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you and to learn more?
Sure. They can reach out to me direct at matt@agencyhub.com, or they can go to Agency Hub and create an account there.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. This has been Seth with Matt from Agency Hub. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much, Seth.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com.